Yeah, we should be able to hear us say record when we do it.
Oh.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you do
Well, it
it.
doesn't matter. I can sync it up. It's fine. It's not hard to do that. Do you want me to do it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 5. Yeah, 5 of Kissin podcast.
Yay!
It's been a while.
It has been
Yay,
quite a while.
Yeah, but we were sick and you were adventuring and
Mm-hmm.
and then Wi-Fi and laziness, and we didn't do it.
It's
But
been...
now we're doing it.
It's... How long? It's been like, what, 5 weeks since we recorded the last episode?
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, because we recorded episode 4, and then we didn't record because we had episode 4, but then I didn't put up episode 4, and then I continued to not put up episode 4, and then we didn't record anything, and then we continued not to record or put up the new episode because I didn't bother with editing it or anything, which I didn't edit it anyway. And then I got a cold, so I'm like, oh, I have to add a thing because the sound cuts, it stops recording. And I didn't want to sound totally gross. And now I have allergies, so now I still sound totally gross. So A++ all around. Gold star, everyone.
Basically, we were just kind of lazy. Because there was a time where I was just like, hey, we should record the next episode. And then I kind of stopped. And then I was in a place without Wi-Fi, and yeah.
And then when we set up to record, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this, then I got called into work and I forgot to tell you.
That's right.
So.
And then I thought that you were dead, because I was just like, where's Laura? Why isn't she responding to my millions of Tumblr and Twitter messages?
I died, and then I forgot to tell you that I died, so.
How dare you?
It happens. That happens.
How dare you, madam?
Well, we're doing it now, so everybody can shut up about it.
We
even
are.
though I haven't said anything about it.
I know, no one
I
has.
know, like, we haven't. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. They're like, oh, they're cool with us, doing it when we want, or, oh, they don't really care that much, but we only have 3 episodes, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think that people can accept that we're still trying to find our footing. And I mean, kind of when I knew I was going back out adventuring in New Zealand, I figured that this probably would happen a couple times. But I figure once I'm back in the States and me and you are in semi-same time zones, scheduling is going to be a whole lot easier.
Yeah. So I think that's what happened. And I think people are pretty cool with, not very pushy, which is nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. Otherwise...
So we got that going for us, which is nice. Alright.
No pressure. Alright, well, this is going to be our 3rd episode discussing Muppets Most Wanted. Although, I guess last episode...
Kinda.
It was touched on last episode, but it was more about Ryan and Joe going to the premiere.
It was more about Ryan and Joe, and that was freaking great.
And all the food,
it really
all the food they ate.
All the food. In-N-Out Burger. We don't have one. I don't...
In-N-Out Burgers are so good.
We have Five Guys. We have a Five Guys near our house now. I still haven't been to that.
Five Guys are great.
I don't know.
Five Guys is going to be the first place I go to when I get back to the States. Forget my house, forget all my friends' houses. I'm going to Five Guys.
Alright, slow down, Tony Stark. Jeez.
I love Tony Stark.
Five Guys, oh my god.
It's great.
Yeah, he went with Burger King. Ugh, come on. Well, yeah.
We have Burger King
Burger
here.
King down the street.
There's Burger King in New Zealand. I never eat Burger King.
It's not great.
I never eat Burger King in the States.
It's not that good.
But I eat it here.
It's not that good.
It's like KFC.
I have like one literally in walking distance from my house. Like, literally just down the street, and I'd never go.
No, it's weird, because like, Burger King and like KFC, I don't eat those in the States, but then for some reason I've had them so many times since I came here.
Well, it's different.
Yeah.
You're out of state.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's because my friends eat there.
This podcast is not sponsored by a KFC or Burger King, and probably never will be now.
God, no.
Yep. Alright.
Back on
Muppets Most
track.
Wanted.
Muppets Most Wanted. I finally had the chance to see Muppets Most Wanted a couple weeks back, and you've seen it as well. You've only seen it the one time?
I only saw it the one time. I was supposed to go with my brother, and he was like, "No, I don't want to go see it." And then he goes and babysits some friends of his. He wants to go see the Muppets with them. They want to see Frozen. He even posts a picture on his Facebook with like a grumpy face. I put it on Tumblr. And I was like, oh great, you want to see Muppets with some little girls that don't even want to see it, but you won't see it with me when I ask you a week later. Come on. Right?
Boo.
So, yeah. So now he wants to see it, and now it's only playing in one theater for two times. Like, for two,
Yeah.
times. I don't know. So that sucks.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, it wasn't there long. And so, because he doesn't, I don't know, he thinks that it's not going to be that great. I don't know. And I keep telling him that it was pretty darn cool. And I don't know, he doesn't believe me. He kind of thinks it's too much. He says it sounds too much like Great Muppet Caper. I was like, it kind of is, but not really.
It's got, I mean, there are definite similarities, the setting, and it's a caper of sorts, but it's not. Besides those, it's not much like Great Muppet Caper, I found, personally.
Yeah. I don't think so.
But yeah,
But I mean, even though we did talk about all the similarities of Great Muppet Caper that I had too, but not, good ways, bad ways.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm trying to convince him to go see it. So if he I don't know. We probably will later on. So I haven't seen it in a month, so I'll probably don't remember all sorts of things about it.
I've only seen it once, and I only saw it 2 weeks ago. And then my plan is, because I'm going up to lovely little big city called Auckland in a couple days, and I'm planning on seeing it again.
Little silly city called Auckland.
A little city called Auckland.
That place nobody's heard of in New Zealand.
What used to be the capital of New Zealand.
Right?
But yeah, because the thing is, I've been staying in a lot of smaller cities and towns during my travels, and so I haven't really had the opportunity to see Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah, there's
in a theater.
Or whatever.
Well, there is one in Hamilton, but I don't have any transportation. Anyway,
that's also a problem.
So I've only seen it once so far, but I quite enjoyed it the one time I saw it. I liked it a lot. That didn't sound very convincing. I wasn't very enthusiastic. I did really like it, though.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
Now we can talk about it. Oh yeah, this podcast is not spoiler free.
Yeah.
But come on, it's been a month. You should have seen it now already. Jesus.
At this point, if you haven't seen it, and also if you're listening to this, it's your own fault if anything gets spoiled for you.
Yeah, it's your own fault, and we're judging you so hard right now if you haven't.
But yeah, I made a pros and cons list of everything that I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. And for the most part, the pros...
You made a list.
I always make lists. I love lists. Oh my gosh.
I know, and I hate them. That's so funny, because I totally hate them. And I'm like, don't ever send us questions where we have to list our favorite anything, because I'll make a list, and then I'll forget half of it, and then I'll come back and I'll, change it. And then I'll add too many things to the list. I'll make a longer list, and I was like, that's still not even in order, because I can't do that. It's not how my brain works. And you're all super organized all the time, and I'm not even looking at the stuff. I'm sitting here looking at your neck going on here. It's just I'll stretch your neck, and it's super long for a minute.
Oh, I wasn't making...
So that's what I was looking at.
I didn't know what you were talking about. Yeah, no, lists keep me sane. To quote my favorite musical, I make lists in my sleep. 'Cause, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know.
That's from Rent. That's from Rent, you uncultured swines. That's from...
Yokels.
Rubes.
You don't know anything about art. Oh, Christ. Okay. But Muppets Most Wanted, yes.
Yeah, read me your list.
Well, I mean, there are only really two big cons I had with it. My biggest problem with it was I thought that the cameos felt like throwaways for the most part. There were a couple that really worked.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of them what's the actor's name? Toby Jones and Mackenzie Crook. They were in it for literally 5 seconds, and then they were gone. They were... I mean, they're not huge A-list celebrities, but I couldn't understand why they had such a small role in the film. Same with who
I'm
Russell Tavoy.
Ru- his name's Russell Tovey.
Tovey. Okay, I tried.
He made it all fancy. Yeah, no, Russell Tovey literally walked in, said, "Here you go," and then walked out. And I was like, "Ah, it's Russell Tovey!" And it's like before I could even say Russell, even couldn't finish his name. He was gone.
Exactly. He came in. He like what?
I was super excited.
Was he like carrying a box or something? I can't remember. He put it.
Yeah, he carried the box that they put down on Fozzie.
Yeah, and then he put it down, and then he left, and I was like, well, he's gonna come back for a gag or something, and he didn't.
No, and I mean, yeah, that's like a little too quick.
Yeah, it just
like with the Muppet movie, like Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga's cameos, like that was cute.
That made
that
sense.
Was maybe a little bit shorter, but that made sense because their cameos were to be cameos, and that was it.
Yeah, super fast cameos.
Yeah, Danny Trejo, Ray Liotta, those weren't really cameos.
No, they were.
Those were kind of. They had names and everything, right?
Yeah, I think that they did.
And Jermaine.
They were in multiple scenes, and they had lines and songs and.
Yeah, so I mean that's a bit different. Hornswoggle and Jermaine and Brett included.
Yeah.
Like Josh Groban, that was a perfect cameo.
That was my favorite cameo.
That was my favorite.
Josh Groban and Stanley Tucci. Those were my favorites.
I don't even remember Stanley Tucci in it now. It's been a month. Like, I can vaguely remember. I remember going, oh, Stanley Tucci.
He was up in the tower, and he was the one, I think, shooting at them when they were trying to escape the prison.
Right. That was good. That was perfect. Also, now I forget his name. The preacher.
Oh, that was Frank Langella, I believe. That's his name.
Yeah. Yes.
And that was
good.
That was a good cameo.
And there wasn't really as many cameos as we kind of thought there would be, I guess. I don't know. It didn't seem like there were really that many.
P. Diddy was there.
Maybe because they were so short. Yeah. But I like, the cameos in the Muppet movie were the best ones. And they were like, I like them being like Stanley Tucci's and Josh Groban's, where they weren't the celebrities, or they weren't, just there to walk in and walk out of a room. They actually interacted with the Muppets a bit more, and like Bob Hope's. That was one of my favorites.
I was just thinking of Bob Hope and Richard Pryor.
Yeah, Bob Hope, Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
Tom DeLuise.
Because they're there for a very short amount of time, but they still interact and add to the story.
But it's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Know what? And friggin' Hobo
Gregory Hines.
Friggin'
Hobo Joe.
Hobo Joe came back, and Hobo Joe did.
He was back.
He didn't do.
You cut out. What?
He in the Muppets. I absolutely love Hobo Joe. He was my favorite cameo, and he always makes me laugh. And this one, he was there for like 5 seconds, and he didn't even like have a memorable line.
He was there for us to say, "Oh, Hobo Joe, we didn't forget about Hobo Joe."
Oh, I guess.
Actually, I really liked it was Hobo Joe.
I guess that's true. Why does everyone forget about Hobo Joe?
Yeah.
But I thought that they could have used Zach Galifianakis better, because I love that man, and they should have had him in it a little bit more.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah, I think their cameos should have been a little bit longer.
Yeah, or I don't know. They just felt like throwaways, and I walked away with that being my major problem with the film. And my other complaint is
but I guess the cameos in this one were better than the cameos in the Muppets, because I remember like 2 in the Muppets.
Well, they had a lot of cameos
right
at the end where all the celebrities are there answering phones.
But they're there to be celebrities, right?
Yeah,
they're there to be celebrities.
They're there playing themselves. Well, the Muppets
and they did that. Muppets Most Wanted did that, but like with Christoph Waltz and Salma Hayek, but they were there part of the show.
That's true.
I mean, so that was a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, I like it better when it's the
Yeah.
When they're there to fill a role that would be a minor role, but would have something to do with the story or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Anyway,
Yeah. So that was the main thing that I walked away from the film, like, kind of not really liking. And the other one is, it's a similar complaint I had to the Muppets back in 2011. I didn't think there was enough Gonzo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that they're definitely.
He had more to do than last time,
That's
though.
what I was
For
gonna
sure.
say. I'm definitely glad that he was in it more and he had more lines and even some jokes, but I still think that he could have been in it more. Um,
Yeah.
Especially the whole part with, who is it? Animal, Fozzie, and Walter going to look for Kermit. I didn't see why
Yeah.
Gonzo couldn't have been with them.
Hmm.
Because, and we'll talk more about Walter later just because people asked about his involvement in the film. I don't even think that you
Hmm.
would need to even take out Walter and put in Gonzo. I think that he could have just, it could have been a
You could
foursome,
have just added Gonzo, yeah.
and
Yeah.
that would have made sense. And also, I'm really sad they cut out Gonzo's part in the interrogation scene. Like, I understand that it's quite a long song to begin with, and it made the most sense to cut out his bit, but I was
Yeah.
still upset that it wasn't in it.
I still haven't heard the whole soundtrack
Have
yet.
you not heard
I
the?
keep meaning to buy it. No, not the whole thing. I keep meaning to buy it at work, but I haven't yet. But I'm probably going to do that this week
Oh,
because I have another thing I want to buy there too. Just a couple things. So, yeah.
it's a good one. I like the entire soundtrack. I love the soundtrack in
Yeah.
general. It has such a killer
Yeah.
soundtrack.
I think it's a lot better than the Muppets, and it better get nominated for something.
Yeah,
But it's a sequel. I don't know.
that would. I don't know. We're doing a sequel or something so right. I think have pretty
I
good.
think something's so right. Yeah.
I think they have pretty good chances of being nominated. How great would that be if Eric Jacobson and Celine Dion were performing at the Oscars? That would make my
That would be
life.
amazing. Yeah, that would be great. I mean, if like all of them could really do it, um, probably not. Well, so I'm trying to think if they could do it live or not.
It probably could.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember when the Muppets came out and the song Man or Muppet got nominated for an Oscar, I was so disappointed that they didn't perform. They just like played
There were
a sample of it.
two songs.
Well,
Two songs. They could have done them back to back and
yeah,
then went right into the award.
it would have been so
Right?
easy. No one even cared about the
Super
Rio
easy.
song. No one even
No, yeah,
saw.
that was.
No one saw Rio.
Yeah.
It was-
There's. I really like the little animation thing that they did for it, where it was like all the musical notes,
yeah,
like
that
coming
was
into the
cool.
scene, and then it went into the scene.
But
That
like,
was neat, but not in replacement of having Jason Segel and Peter doing it together.
I
That kind of thing.
know, like
And then Jim
you could
Parsons
have,
like walking in.
you could have done the performance of the songs, and then you could have done the cool musical notes when they were reminding us what the nominations were.
Yeah, like they usually do. I don't know. Even like when they used to like just cover the song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Some of them they would just do like the straight up, like Linda Ron said.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
Anyway,
shoulda, woulda, coulda. They didn't. So yeah, but I like the soundtrack a lot better than the Muppets. I think Brett found his groove with. I think it was easier to do it when he's writing for the Muppets and not writing for these new characters, maybe.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, they felt more old school, and I said that before.
They did.
But I super liked them.
Also, can we talk about how Matt Vogel singing is like my favorite thing ever? He has a very nice voice.
Yep, I agree. That's all I have to say.
I was gonna say
Yep.
I was gonna say more, then I was like, nah, we don't need to do that. I can just stop talking.
I think everybody knows.
Everybody probably does. Anyway,
Everybody knows.
moving on. And this wasn't really a con, but it's something that I noticed about the film that I thought was a little strange. Like, the whole purpose of the Muppets back in 2011 was it was a film about the Muppets coming back together and being a family. And in this film, like, they all, like, immediately stop listening to Kermit, and then Kermit goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, that was way too soon for me.
Because, I mean,
That was
this movie is supposed to take place right after the Muppets ends, and they just had a whole movie about coming
Yeah.
together, and then they're just like, "Oh,
Coming back together.
we're not going to listen to you, Kermit. Go away."
Yeah. Well, Kermit, you're not gonna let me do anything I want to do, but Dominic does, so let's do that. I mean, I get it. I think it was like, I like that Dominic had the idea in the beginning, and that introduces Dominic really early, but I think it
Yeah.
was maybe too early that he, like, starts planning out stuff all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could have just been, like, following them along for a little bit or something.
Yeah.
I think it was a little too early.
Did you
Couldn't establish
did you
their...
feel like there wasn't enough Kermit in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
hmm
don't, because
I
I mean
think
he's
I said that
still.
before.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's probably why that idea
It's
was
like
set in
he
my
could have...
mind.
Yeah. I mean, there was, like, there were places where he could have had a whole song by himself. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he didn't get any, like, solo songs, which is kind of weird, because,
I mean, he
But,
had the lead in We're Doing a Sequel, and he popped up in Something So Right, but otherwise, yeah, he didn't really
yeah.
have a
But that's
song.
it. That's it. And
Hmm.
Constantine got 2 songs.
Yeah, and they're good songs.
But, yeah, they are, though. Yeah, I think we could have just gone... We could have done with the Kermit song.
Yeah.
Uh, like, him and, um... I've already forgotten her name. Him and Tina Fey could have had a duet or something. You
And
know?
Danny Trejo could have been there.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, like, Jermaine Clement got his own goddamn song.
That's true, I
And
forgot
Kermit
about
didn't get one.
that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a cover, but still. Yeah. I think I said that last time too. I wish that Kermit had gotten a little more screen time. There'd have
Hmm.
been, like, a little bit. I really like Natalia. I really like their relationship.
Natalia. Nadia?
Nadia, oh my god. Say
That's
it was something
okay.
with an N. I didn't call her Natasha, at least. It's been a month. It's
I
been a
know,
month.
I know.
Nadia. Um, yeah, I think I wish they had, like, made it a little more clear if she knew that he was Kermit.
Yeah,
Cause that's still... Cause I don't know if she started to believe that he was Kermit and then she became obsessed with him, or if she was already obsessed with him and was just pretending she didn't know he was Kermit so she could keep him there.
yeah, I
If that makes
couldn't
sense.
figure out, because she started calling him Kermit, like, halfway through the film, and I was
And he
like,
noticed,
yeah.
but he didn't say anything about it,
So I figured
which I
that,
thought he was going to. Like, oh, you believe me, but that didn't happen. So I don't know.
I mean, I kind of figured that she believed him, but at the same time, I was like, well, maybe she's humoring him, but I don't think that was the case.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could have been introduced a little bit better.
yeah, and that's unclear if she did that or not. But I don't know. Steve seems really happy with the movie, so that's good enough for me, I guess.
He was, which that'll lead me into
He was.
now everything that I liked about the film, which is pretty much everything
Yay!
else that I haven't already said
Yeah.
wasn't as great. But in the red carpet interviews with the Muppet Mindset, Steve talked a lot about how he thought the puppeteering skills was really great in this film, and I think
Yes.
that's
Yep.
extremely true. Like Constantine's whole opening bit where he's breaking out of the
Mhm.
gulag was absolutely amazing, considering they only used a
Yeah.
green screen and no CGI.
Which is that's how they do everything, though. They always use the green screen things and
I know,
all the
but like watching it,
stunts.
I totally get why people thought that there was CGI in it, but oh, it's so
Yeah.
good.
Well, blue screen, not green screen.
Blue
Blue
screen.
screen
That
is not the same as CGI. There is a difference.
that is very
In
very
what
true.
happens.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
and like yeah, the dancing on top of Ricky's head was great.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and I liked the mirror bit with Constantine and Kermit. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that too. And I think the Muppet ladder, while I think it was kind of a silly idea,
Mm-hmm.
like plot wise, the puppetry execution was really good.
It
It was
was.
really cool. I was like, I don't, I have mixed feelings because on the one hand, plot wise, it seems like silly and not in a good way silly. Kind
Yeah.
of like the Muppet Man thing. I wasn't crazy about that in the Muppets.
Oh, I
Um,
liked Muppet Man.
the Muppet Man. Okay,
I thought Muppet Man was
but
funny.
yeah,
But no, I know what you mean.
yeah. I think there could have been a more actiony way or something, but
Yeah, they mention
although I mean they did that in Great Muppet Caper too, sort of. So
a bit
the
with the lowering
yeah, with
in the
lowering
end.
everybody down.
That's right. No, and then
But I mean they did that and they did that wide shot and that looks really cool. So
it does. They mentioned
A plus.
the Muppet Ladder really early in the film, and I've seen all the trailers, so I was like, oh, so that's
Yeah,
gonna come back later, and that's how they're gonna save the entire thing. Cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
thanks trailers for ruining that for
I
me.
thought
No.
I thought Miss Piggy was gonna karate chop Constantine out of the helicopter, but that didn't happen.
Nah, she like
Other stuff happened.
beat the
She
crap out of him.
wiped the windows. She wiped the windows with that frog.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Which
Which
I found surprising. But I was
yeah.
like, I was waiting for the karate chop, but it never come. But yeah, she's one tough pig.
One tough pig.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Okay.
I also really liked Constantine. I thought that he was great, and I see why everyone really has been talking a lot about him.
Mhm.
It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Good addition to the film. I'm interested to see how if they're going to include him in future projects or not.
You know what? I don't know if unpopular opinion or not. I kind of hope that they don't because, like, I don't know. I don't really see the need for him in other stuff.
I
Like, I maybe he could do like be like kind of an Uncle Deadly character and be there some of the time, but I mean, because I can't really see another reason for him to be there.
yeah, I
Although I do really like him as a character and everything.
I get that. I definitely don't think he should become a core part of the Muppet group, but it would
Yeah,
be really
yeah,
nice to see him like pop up, maybe with just like really brief cameo roles or, uh,
yeah,
yeah, pretty much, kind of like Uncle Deadly, I guess. Yeah, where he just comes
yeah.
in on occasion.
Kind of, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Walter, that's a totally different thing.
Yeah,
Um, Basically because he's not a villain. You know,
true.
that's I mean, how you can't. He's not a villain and he doesn't look like Kermit. So, I mean, really, how much can you utilize this evil person that put Kermit in? Kermit's a good guy. I'm sure he would forgive him for sticking him in the gulag for like I don't know a month or two, but
Yeah,
or like what was it like 3 or 4 months or something? I don't know.
it was
Can't remember how.
maybe not that long, but quite a while. Yeah,
Couple weeks.
several
It's
weeks
a
at
couple weeks
least.
or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
but yeah,
I like.
I'm sure he'll pop up just because everyone's responded to Constantine so well, so I'm sure he'll come back. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I would agree with you that he shouldn't. Yeah,
somehow, but not a part of like. Oh, hey, I'm rehabilitated now. I'm part of the Muppets now. Yay! I don't think he
I
should
love your impression.
I almost like couldn't say rehabilitated, and then I wanted to say it messed up because he would say it all messed up, and then I couldn't think of how to say it otherwise. So
Um,
yeah,
I for this film I also very much liked the human leads because yeah they
yes,
definitely they didn't take too much of the spotlight, but at the same time they added effectively to the story and they kept the story going. It was very much like what's her name, Jenny in Muppets Take Manhattan,
yes,
where she's there and she's helping out, but she's not the central focus. Unlike Jason Segel, who I adore and would like to marry, but he did steal a lot of the limelight.
yeah, it was a bit much.
Hmm.
Yeah, God, oh man, don't even start out Jenny. I love Jenny and Brian,
Yeah.
but Muppets Take Manhattan is my favorite Muppet movie, so there. It
I know,
is.
I know. It's a
Also,
good one.
Rizzo gets more screen time in Muppets Take Manhattan than he probably gets in like all, you know, ever.
He, he gets a lot of
So,
screen time in friggin' Muppet Treasure
well,
Island and
no,
Muppet Christmas Carol.
well, yeah, I know. That was because of him and Gonzo being the buddy
I'm
relatable
I
people.
miss that friendship. I want that friendship back.
I know. Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
Well, he really. Well, I don't know. Let's get off track talking about Rizzo, but
But no, staying on track, Rizzo had
Rizzo
my
and Robin.
favorite bit in the
Rizzo,
entire
no, no.
film.
Yes, I think that's a lot of people agree with that.
Rizzo and
It was
Robin.
so good. Like probably missed half of that joke because I was doubled over laughing so hard. Me and Allison were, I think I said this last time, we were laughing and we cried, and like the four other families were probably wondering what the hell like we were on because we were reacting so hard to that.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, like there wasn't a whole lot of people in there. It was like a Friday afternoon. It was like 4 o'clock or something, like super early.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it was too good, and just got Robin walking like past the frame. Okay,
I like screamed with laughter
oh
and I
my
was
god,
like clapping my hands. I was
it
so
was
happy.
so good.
It was
Yeah,
yeah.
Allison was like literally squealing. She laughed really, really hard, like tears, just tears. I literally doubled over. It was great. It was so good. And it was kind of like that joke was so good. I'm like not even mad that they weren't in it that much because that joke was there.
It's true. It kind of
So,
evened
but
everything out.
now that they've acknowledged it, they better be in the next one
I know.
with more stuff. You know?
Yeah, those two. And also, like, I kind of miss Pepe. Like, I don't like it when he's really overused, but I still like his character quite a lot.
Yeah, they haven't used him a lot
Because
at all. Yeah.
he used to be used a ton, and now it's been really underplayed, and I kind of miss him.
Oh, me and Allison were talking about you were talking about Pepe, and he started in Muppets Tonight, blah blah, and then I said something. I was talking about how like I really miss Johnny Fiamma and Sal, and that Brian and Bill really work good together and everything, except for Seymour and Pepe.
Oh,
And I
I
said,
hate
yeah,
Seymour.
Seymour just did not get off the ground. And then Allison just took a pause, and then she said, well, he is an elephant. And then I laughed for 10 minutes. It was great. I was like, oh my god, I didn't even set that up. It was so good. So yeah. No, I was not a big fan of Seymour.
I'll save my rant about not how I don't like Seymour, like, at
Unfortunately.
all, for another day, but I don't like him.
Yeah. No. Sorry, Brian.
Nah.
I love
Um,
Brian, though.
Trying to keep on track, just a couple other things that I really liked about it. Good Night, Danny Trejo. I think I liked that joke just as much as the Robin Rizzo one. I rewind it like twice to rewatch it, and I just cried from laughter.
That was so good.
That's a good one.
I love Nadia. I
Um,
love Nadia.
I love that they did Chorus Line because I like that musical quite a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when they were all like
That
singing,
was funny.
God, I hope I get it. I was just like, yes, I'm so happy right now.
Yeah,
Jermaine Clements
it
singing
was
Chorus
so
Line.
good.
And
Hmm.
I fucking love Ty Burrell. Every scene he was in was gold.
Hmm.
He was a great addition to the film.
Excuse me. I love that Sam called him Sean.
Hmm.
He just kept calling him Sean and
They
saying,
were so good
oh,
together. They were so funny.
they really were.
And
And at first, like, I was kind of upset that Sam was like he wasn't like part of the Muppet group. He was like against the Muppet group, or just he was like a totally different character altogether.
hmm
As part from Sam, he was this Interpol agent, blah blah, or CIA, whatever. But after a while, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And he's playing a character because all the Muppets are just actors and da 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 and
hmm
that kind of thing. It's like a separate character, kind of like sort of like what they did for Great Muppet Caper. Well, not really, but I think Great Muppet Caper kind of falls in with Muppet Treasure Island and um,
and Christmas Carol.
Muppet Christmas Carol, but but like to a lesser extent because they're playing characters that are named after them.
Yeah,
They're
but
not
they're
playing
still
characters pulled from a book, kind of thing.
yeah, because like Fozzie and Kermit are brothers, and they
Yeah.
have these professions that they're doing, and Miss Piggy is living in
and
England.
yeah, and they don't know Miss Piggy yet or anything like that. And I think we have a whole nother discussion on Muppet canon because that doesn't really exist.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll have an episode eventually dedicated to talking about Muppet canon.
Yeah, different aspects of that and all that.
Because
All Muppet
there's so many
universes.
facets to it.
So good.
But that's pretty much.
We're so complex. This fandom is so complex and nobody knows it. Nobody realizes it. We just blew people's minds right now. Things like, what? Nothing's really canon? No, not really.
Nothing's canon unless
They're all
it's in
just
an
actors.
interview.
They're all actors in the end, and even that can't be trusted.
The interviews? I always figured like the
Yeah.
things they say in interviews are usually what you can go off of.
I don't know.
Okay,
Well, you just gotta, just repeat to yourself it's just a show. I should really just relax. Right?
fair enough.
That's what I tell people when they got all uppity about. Well, they're married for real because Miss Piggy hired this real priest instead of Gonzo because Gonzo was supposed to be in it, and it wasn't. And I was like, well, yeah, but then, Muppets Most Wanted negated that whole thing at all. They didn't mention that at all.
Yeah.
That it was another wedding, even though it was. Ah, Muppet canon, you crazy.
You so
You so
crazy.
crazy.
Oh my god. That was great.
Ah. So, is that what else on your list?
That's pretty much everything. I thought that Miss Piggy looked the best that she has in ages. Like, you mentioned that you really liked her costumes a while back, and I completely agree. She had really good costumes and really good hair, too.
Really good hair. I was so jealous of most of her hair. Yeah,
Pretty
it's
much.
really good. And I love that her costumes were like literally in like one scene, and then she would be in something totally different and totally elaborate later on.
I loved it.
Like that, her fucking suit with the hat. Oh my god! I'm like, why can't I have Miss Piggy's wardrobe?
Yeah, just give me a duplicate
Right?
of her wardrobe in my size.
Yeah, all of her stuff. I will take everything she's ever worn. And yeah, this would be great.
Pretty much. Okay, so I'm looking, because I wrote down, like, everything I liked and didn't like about the film, and all I have in capital letters, no explanation, is Bobby Benson, you fucking creep. And I don't know why. I think it's just because he popped up, and I think
yeah.
he's so creepy.
He is, but I love that he was there because I love Bobby Benson. Oh my god, I still like when I hear a certain song, I'll do like his little jam that he does.
He stole those babies. You know he stole those babies.
Yeah, he stole those babies.
He got arrested.
We talked about that before.
Yeah.
I think I edited that part out, but he totally did.
I will.
Oh no, that was before we actually started the podcast. We were just joking around. I'm like, yeah, he stole them babies.
I will always mention how creepy I think Bobby Benson is.
So when we were planning the podcast, we were talking about Bobby Benson.
That's right.
Bobby Benson's baby band. He stole them babies.
The last thing that I'll mention, this isn't a pro or con. I thought that something that was going to come up was Constantine loving to dance, because he danced a lot in the film. Like he was dancing on Ricky's head, and he was like, dance monkey dance. He danced in the friggin' Give You What I Want. He moonwalked. So
yeah.
I actually I was like, well, maybe in the end he'll realize his love of dancing and he'll
try to get with the Muppets.
He'll stop being evil because he'll just be like, oh, I don't want to be a villain, I want to dance, and then that didn't happen.
Gotta dance. Yeah. Speaking of missed opportunities, but I kind of was, I don't know, maybe it's just because I love Ricky Gervais so much. I was kind of counting on him having a Max moment where he realizes that he really wants to help the Muppets and that Constantine treats him so horribly.
I thought that was going to happen too.
Yeah. But in a way, they've already done that, so we don't really need a repeat of that kind of sidekick villain thing happening.
True.
That would just be kind of a repeat of that too. And then the whole thing with the lemur, I thought that was funny. I mean, I like that he was actually
that was funny
the whole time. That he was, he was dropping the coins, but you were like, oh yeah, that's just to throw everybody off.
Oh.
But that was actually him taking the credit, kind of thing. Which I thought was good.
Oh, I knew that he was the lemur because I saw a picture on Tumblr of him in the lemur outfit.
Yeah, that was my fault. I forgot he hadn't seen it
That's
yet, and
okay.
he put that on Twitter, and then I well, I actually tossed it in the queue, but somehow it got to the top pretty quickly.
No, that's totally fine. And like he put the coin down, and they were like, "Oh, the lemur left this," and I was like, "Oh, well, Ricky Gervais left it,
Oh,
so
okay, I guess yeah, he did. So, oops.
oh
Yeah, I
well."
didn't see that coming in. I was expecting for the smacks moment to happen. I guess that kind of sort of went to Nadia. She kind of did it. She changed her mind, and but I don't know. You kind of saw that coming because of her relationship with Kermit
Yeah, pretty much.
and everything.
But
So
yeah, those are all my major thoughts about the film. Do you have anything to add or
I
any?
don't think so.
Also,
I think we
I
kind
did not see Steve in the gulag scene. That might have to do with the fact that
of.
I was
You weren't
watch.
looking right under him.
Yeah, I don't know if I was looking close enough, or also because where I was watching the movie wasn't on a giant screen, so it was
Yeah.
a little blurry. Let's just say that. So next time I see it, I'll definitely keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, you have to look. It's when when Nadia yells at them, you have to look. Like you have to figure out first of all because he's dressed like everybody else.
Hmm.
So when they're doing the overhead scene, look for I can't remember who it is, but some guy that's obviously to Kermit's right. He actually has his elbow on Steve's head. You can't see Steve's head, you can only see the top of his head, like the hat.
Okay.
He has his elbow on his head, because he's like slightly shorter than everybody else, so there's that. And then, but like look towards, the right under Kermit, and you'll see him, and it'll be just really fast, because you'll see him, and then it cuts to Tina Fey. But he was like looking all scared and everything. It was great.
Okay.
I was like, Steve. And Allison missed it too, but like maybe because that's how I am. I like
No, no, I get you. I get you.
like Steve is right there. I'd get it. I wasn't about to miss him. I was not about to miss that face. That's all I have to say. So yeah, it was just for a second, but I was so happy. I was so happy.
I know.
Yeah. So no, no, I don't think I have anything else to say about it. We'll probably talk about it later again.
I'm
And
sure it'll
again.
come up multiple times.
I'll probably watch it again. Yeah. But it's out. It's new.
Everyone should go see it
We should. Yeah.
again.
Um. We should probably let's. Are we done with that? Are we
Yes.
done talking about that? All right. The only kind of news that's out. If you're not watching Jim Henson's Cruise Shop, you should, because it's cool and awesome. We'll talk about that next podcast a little bit better. I mean, a little bit more. We don't really have time today, but that's pretty good. Me and my brother are watching it. I don't like reality shows that much. He watches them all the time. But he is also like super negative about stuff, even though he doesn't think he is. He is. So we're watching that, and I always watch it with him. And also other news, kind of with the Jim Henson Company thing. Evidently, and Gigi Edgley twittered it, so like I wasn't when I first heard about it, I wasn't sure, and then she twittered about it, so I was like, okay, now I'll believe her. They're planning a Farscape movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or however you say his name, I can always pronounce it wrong. Mr. O'Bannon, the creator of it and everything, he mentioned it at some con or something. So Brian hasn't said anything about it yet. And Brian was on the Nerdist podcast earlier this week, so you should listen to that too, because that was pretty damn cool. He didn't mention that, but he did talk about a lot of stuff, like his dad and everything, obviously. And man, I've been bugging Chris Hardwick for months about getting either Lisa or Brian or somebody on there. And the fact that he knows Brian, and like they've been neighbors like twice, really bugged me that he hasn't had him on sooner. Right? So, and they talk about their dogs, and they talk about, what Jim might be doing now and that kind of thing. So it was pretty cool. And Brian talks about, his childhood a bit and everything. was pretty neat. Pretty darn cool. I was so happy to hear that. I haven't caught up on Nerdist at all, so I totally just skipped a bunch of them. I was like, Brian's going first. Number 1. So the Farscape movie is evidently happening. I think there might be a script. That's about it for news, I guess.
Yay! Notice how quiet I was, because I haven't
I know.
watched any or listened to any of those things, so I was like, I can't add to any of this.
Yeah, that's why I said next week it'll be better.
Yeah, because I am...
next week,
because
aren't
the sci-fi episodes, they're up on the internet, aren't they? I think they're on the sci-fi website, so I intend to watch them.
They should be.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, well...
we'll talk about that
I guess we will...
more in depth next time.
We can go into questions, though.
Yep.
Yay, questions and comments. Let's see. On Facebook, Anthony Strand said to us, we asked what people like about the new Muppets Most Wanted movie, and he responded with, it's just the funniest Muppet movie in 33 years, no big deal. So, that's a positive remark.
Yep.
And then on Twitter, Mitchell Stein, I am so sorry that I probably just messed up your name, Mitchell, but he said, I've been listening since episode 1. It's great. We were in dire need of another Muppet podcast. Kudos, Frog Kissin' Gals.
Aw, thanks.
That was really sweet. Thank you. And then our good friend, Mr. Ryan Rowe, asked, why wasn't Annie Sue used more? Should she have been? Unless you covered that already in another episode. And
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we talked about this a bit earlier, me and you, before we started recording, that everyone made a big deal about Louise being back for this film, and then Annie Sue was barely in it.
Yeah. They should have utilized her. They should have done something.
Well, she didn't even have
anything.
Did she have any lines? She didn't, did she?
I don't think she did. I don't even think she did.
Which is so
Maybe
dumb.
She had like a whole scene and they cut it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "Oh, what are they gonna do with Annie Sue? I wonder what she'll have something to do with Piggy, surely." And then nothing happened.
Yep, Miss Piggy, Janice, and Camilla were really the only female Muppets in this, which is quite disheartening.
I know. I want Annie Sue to come back because she didn't. Honestly, even in Muppet Show, I don't think she really had a whole much to do except make Miss Piggy jealous.
Yeah.
And be really sweet to everybody and everything. So
she was the foil. She was the foil for Miss Piggy in a couple episodes, but that was really it.
Yeah. And to be like, she Miss Piggy was her idol, and Miss Piggy, was just really mean to her and jealous and stuff. So
yeah,
she should come back just to have more character development. I don't know.
It all ties back into our first episode where they just really need more female Muppets and performers.
Yeah, and they mentioned the problem with Annie Sue on Tough Pigs, and with Skeeter, and that they were created because of another character, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Also, did you see today Muppet Mindset posted an article about how the Muppets need more female characters?
Yep.
Which, when we finally post this particular episode, it'll probably already have been a week or so, but people should go back and find it because it's a good read.
Go read it, because Ryan is good at what he does. And stuff.
Indeed.
And he's our buddy.
Indeed. Okay.
Indubitably. Next question.
Lovers, Dreamers, and you asked, how can something so right feel so wrong tonight?
Oh, I get it. It's like the song. The song of the movie.
Did you not get it at first?
That was a joke. It was a joke.
Okay.
Julia.
I thought that at first. Okay, never mind.
Nope, it was a joke. So thank you for that comment, Lovers, Dreamers, and you. Which that's a pretty good. Everybody on Tumblr should follow that blog. That's a good blog.
It is. They're quite that blog makes me happy, pretty much.
That's a good blog.
Abigail M asked, "Hi guys, love your podcast. It's nice to see women running a Muppet fan thing and doing so wonderfully well at it. Muppets Most Wanted."
Thank you. We love it
Yes,
too.
yes, thank you so much for the comment. Muppets Most Wanted is now my third favorite Muppet movie, and by the end, my face hurt from smiling so much, especially during the songs. My question for you guys is this: do you think Walter was incorporated effectively in this movie? And this kind of goes hand in hand with another question that we got from Anonymous, and they asked, do you feel that Walter is sort of advert- why I cannot read that? Pretty much taking over a good portion of the spot that used to be occupied by Gonzo or Ralph.
I don't know. I think he is being utilized advertently or inadvertently. I think
I can't read.
I think he's being used well. I think, I like Walter. I like him. I think when Walter came about, a lot of people complained that he was a lot like Scooter, and I kind of see that, but I think he's a lot younger than Scooter is. Scooter's, I think he's kind of matured, I guess, a little bit. He's like he used to be, the kid, but now he's the kid with the job, and Walter's kind of more the fan, and he's a younger kind of guy, I guess. But no, I mean, I like Walter. I don't think he's taking away from like what Rolf or Gonzo would have had. I think what you said before, like Gonzo could have been with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I think because Rolf's kind of taken a back seat a little bit, maybe, but he wouldn't be utilized in the same way, because Rolf kind of he's kind of there, for the advice or that kind of thing, but he's not really, I don't know, he wouldn't get up and go after them. I don't think. I think it made sense that Rolf wasn't in that. He wasn't with that.
Yeah, same. No, I thought that they did a good job with Walter in this film, just because in the Muppets he was such a central character. He was like pretty much just as important as Kermit in that film, and so they did a really good job keeping him as a prominent character, because I mean, at this point, the way that he was introduced in the last film, fans, especially like younger new fans, are gonna want to see more Walter again, but they did a good job not making him the central focus, like keeping him as still an important character, but having him also kind of back off a little bit.
Yeah.
And so no, I thought,
and I think he was still relatable. Like, this was his real chance at getting to do the Muppet Show and that kind of thing, and he wanted to be. He still has his, googly eyes for Kermit about, let's listen to Kermit. Kermit knows what we should do.
Yeah.
Why aren't you guys listening to Kermit? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it was easier that he figured out that, Kermit was acting weird and that kind of thing. I think that, because I don't think it would have really worked if anybody else figured out that he was Constantine.
Yeah.
Like,
I think,
because I think
maybe Scooter, because I can't see Gonzo figuring it out, or Fozzie.
Yeah, Gonzo's too preoccupied.
Like
Fozzie,
maybe Miss Piggy, but at the same time they couldn't do that because her whole wedding is such a big plot point.
Because the whole plot kind of depended on her not knowing about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it couldn't have been her.
Yeah, I guess Scooter, but
But no, I thought that made a lot of sense, because I mean, Walter's, he's the big fan. He's the one that would notice little things like that, little nuances, and yeah, no, I liked his involvement in the film.
And he wasn't preoccupied with wanting to do things his way. He wanted to do stuff Kermit's way.
Mm-hmm.
When he didn't mind that Kermit said no, because he's like, all right, I'm going to listen to the boss. And the other guys were like, well, we want to do our own thing, blah, blah, blah. Geez, Mom, that kind of thing. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he was utilized well. I like him. I liked him doing stuff. And his little blue sweater, oh my god, that was so cute.
I love his little blue sweater.
Blue sweater. They had really good costumes in this.
They did. Just all the costumes for humans and for Muppets.
Yep.
Good job, Muppet costumers.
Costume department.
You did such a spectacular job. Okay.
Next question.
Awkward Gravity Falls Screen Caps asked which cameo was your favorite and which was your least favorite, which we kind of already covered.
We answered that.
I mean, Danny Trejo and Jermaine Clements, but they're not really cameos. So I'd say Josh Groban, and my least favorite was probably Hobo Joe, because I didn't think they used him well enough.
I guess my least, well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe... Yeah, it's just like whoever wasn't there long enough.
Or freaking, Toby Jones. He had one line and then he was gone. Didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And our last comment is from Collared Frog, and he said, anyone who doesn't have a crush on both Laura and Julia is wrong. I fully realize that is neither a question nor Muppet related. Thank you.
But it is a comment. Thank you. And that's awfully sweet.
We very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for your comment.
Yep. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
As Charlie.
Thank you. That's everything.
Well, that's I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up.
I thought that was a nice little note to end
on. If you don't have a crush on us, you're wrong. So stop being wrong and get busy on them crushes.
Get busy on them crushes. Exactly. What are you doing with your life?
Kissin, get busy on them crushes.
That should be our new tagline.
I don't know.
Forget about talking about all things Henson. Get busy on them crushes.
Just get busy on them crunches. Probably get busy on them too.
Almost said. Crunches.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's probably a good idea. You know, keep it healthy. Stay fit. I don't know.
On that note,
alright.
We probably should wrap it up.
Alright. Yeah. We're well, I don't know. Speaking of news, we are on iTunes now.
Yay! To the convenience of everybody, because that's probably the most convenient way anyone can listen to a podcast.
Yeah. We're on iTunes at... Oh, shoot. I just did something weird. I accidentally pulled the tab out of my browser here. Frog Kissin. We're on iTunes as Frog Kissin.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow us also on YouTube, or we just post the podcast on YouTube at Frog Kissin. We are Frog Kissin Gals on Twitter. We are Frog Kissin Podcast on Tumblr, and Frog Kissin Podcast on Facebook. So there's so many places you can ask us questions and give us comments. And please like and subscribe and rate and retweet and reblog and thumbs up and all sorts of things.
Please do.
But only good things, please.
We also have a page on the Tough Pigs fan site now. We're on the sidebar.
Oh, yeah.
Under podcast.
Yep.
Which is a good place.
On the sidebar, you can find our podcast there.
That's where we'll post links to all of our episodes and such. So, and eventually maybe that'll be a good place for if we've got any things coming up, any special guests or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Totes my goats. Alright. Well, that is just about an hour for us, so we will stop talking about stuff now.
Nicely summed up, Laura.
Alright. Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks so much.
And we'll try to get the next one out pretty soon. Bye!